Your vision for Pakistan, which this session was supposed to be about, right? So does it involve following the constitution? Like
Following the constitution?
Yeah, because after the Punjab and KP governments got dissolved, you're supposed to hold elections in 90 days. Why haven't we held elections yet?
I'm joining.
Question stems from the previous question, which was on the election date. But when you look at the election process, what measures would you as a caretaker government be taking to avoid all the unconstitutional or any external undemocratic factors intervening into the electoral process, which we have been observing throughout the history of Pakistan? And from that, I would use the example of the recent elections which just happened in Karachi, where PTI and Jamaat-e-Islami collectively, they won a majority. But I don't know what happened. सारे 9 मई की मजम्मत करते हैं, लेकिन PTI वाले सारे गायब हो गए मेयर चूज करने से पहले, और करते कराते इवेंचुअली आई थिंक PP का ही चेयर बना था. PP का एक चेयरमैन मेयर इलेक्ट हुआ था. I see this happening on a larger scale as well. And yeah, you as a caretaker government, I think, can have an impact on regulating the election commissioner. So over to you.
Right. So my question is that recently we've seen a lot of religious sentiments and religious rhetoric being used by politicians, not only to entice voters, but also to kind of attack another political party. So considering we already have a considerable amount of restrictions on the kind of discourse that we can engage in, should this not also be a restricted part of discourse, considering that, yes, we are an Islamic nation, but there are a lot of other religions in the country, and also religion is considered to be a very sensitive topic. It should not be weaponized and politicized as it is now.
Ji Chanda.
Assalamu alaikum, Honorable Prime Minister. It's very heartening to hear you coming over here, the Premier of the country, and saying and encouraging us that Lums students, we seek knowledge, we seek originality. It's very heartening, but then I hearken back to earlier times. A few months ago, right at the start of your tenureship, when you talked about the social contract, you talked about the Pakistan social contract with its citizens. It should only have a primary purpose, that is to ensure law and order. And I believe that goes against the very statement you gave right now about encouraging originality and seeking knowledge and giving an enabling environment. I believe in order to give an enabling environment to the youth of this nation, there has to be two things: freedom of expression and freedom from discrimination. I believe we here, Lum students, people of a very, very privileged class, both in terms of socioeconomic class and religious caste as well, we aren't at the same level, and we don't, and the level freedom of expression we have cannot ever compare to the youth out in South Punjab, out in Karachi, those Afghan refugees. They can never compare to us. So how do you feel that a social contract that is based on law and order as a primary purpose can ever ensure those two things to make sure that the rest of our youth actually get a chance to have an enabling environment?
तो सुबह डॉन न्यूज़ में पब्लिश हुआ था कि पाकिस्तान ने अफगान जो रेफ्यूजीज हैं उनको डिपोर्ट करना शुरू कर दिया है, और 2 अफराद जो हैं वो कंटेनर के उल्टा होने से, जो हमारे सामान के जो कंटेनर्स होते हैं उसमें उनको भर भर के डाला जा रहा है और बॉर्डर्स के पास जाके छोड़ा जा रहा है. तो 2 अफराद हलाक हैं, 14 जख्मी हैं. As caretaker PM of the country, as the Premier of the country, do you not think that this is, again, we make it seem to the rest of the world that we are so magnanimous, look, we're a poor country, we're struggling so much, but we've taken in millions of Afghan refugees and we're giving them a chance at a good life. Is this a chance at a good life? And what is your government essentially going to do to ensure that such loss of life, like we've seen this morning, does not happen, and that they're treated humanely, even if the deportation is happening, that it follows the due process of the law and it follows refugee law as well at the same time?
First of all, I get so overwhelmed and so happy when people and youngsters like yourself speak with passion. I really like it. This is the way one should be. First of all, my dear, where are you from? Are you from Lahore? Where are you from, if I may ask? Karachi. Okay. First of all, we are not sending one single refugee to Afghanistan. This is
पिछले 2 डेकेड्स में रिलीजियस एक्सट्रीमिज्म और फंडामेंटलिज्म टेररिज्म से बहुत सफ़र किया है, लेकिन हमारी जो स्टेट है और पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप उनकी एक सॉलिड यूनिफाइड पॉलिसी नहीं रही है इस एक्सट्रीमिज्म और टेररिज्म से मुतालिक। फॉर इंस्टेंस टीटीपी को पहले आज़ाद छोड़ा गया, फिर स्वात ऑपरेशन हुआ, फिर उसके बाद जनरल फैज साहब आए, उन्होंने उनको रीलोकेट करने की कोशिश की ट्राइबल एरियाज में, फिर अब अफगान हुकूमत के साथ मिलकर उनके खिलाफ क्रैकडाउन हो रहा है। इसकी वजह से जो पश्तून और बलोच यूथ है उनमें एक एंटी स्टेट और एक एंटी आर्मी सेंटिमेंट पाया जाता है, जो कि आपको भी पता होगा, और जो ट्रांसलेट करता है आइडेंटिटी पॉलिटिक्स में। फॉर इंस्टेंस पुख्तून तहफ़्फ़ुज़ मूवमेंट, बलूचिस्तान लिबरेशन आर्मी, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल माय क्वेश्चन इज, व्हाई has the state or the political leadership, especially of KP and Balochistan, not been able to have this single unified policy against all sorts of terrorism? So, and what's the solution? How do we avoid this kind of dilemma that we are in?
Where are you from?
I'm from Ardan, KP.
Amidst the declining economic growth, increasing debt, political instability and whatnot, I am genuinely curious that why did you feel the need to come to Lums and address the students here? No, it's not, I'm sorry, it's not a humiliating question.
No, I
But
don't get humiliated by
I
such
am
things.
genuinely curious that amidst all these situations and conditions situations that are happening in Pakistan and are affecting the people, why did you feel like, what was the motive behind this invite, or rather you're coming to Lums? I want to know.
Thanks. You know, not just like yourself, but I do get puzzled by all these challenges, which
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
inshallah I'll come again.
इंशाल्लाह। सर सबसे पहले तो सर मैं अपने दुख का इजहार करना चाहूँगा कि सर आप एक यूनिवर्सिटी आए, तुलबा अपना टाइम निकाल के आए, साथी इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं और आप फिर भी सर 50 मिनट लेट आए। बच्चे अपनी क्लास एक दूसरे छोड़ के सर इधर आप इंतज़ार कर रहे थे। और सर मैं इस बात पे शर्मिंदा हूँ कि मेरे प्राइम मिनिस्टर, बेशक केयरटेकर प्राइम मिनिस्टर हो, उसे इल्म की इज़्ज़त नहीं, या फिर मुझे लगा कि शायद इल्म की इज़्ज़त नहीं। मगर सर मेरा सवाल ये नहीं, मेरा सवाल तो ये है कि सर मेरा सवाल जड़ने वाला के ऊपर है। सर पूरे शहर के चर्च के ऊपर आग लगा दी गई और हमारी हुकूमत ने कुछ नहीं किया। आप सर ऑफिस में ही थे, अगर मेरी इल्म में कमी हो तो सर प्लीज़ इजाफा करें, मगर जितना मुझे इल्म है आप सर ऑफिस में थे और आपके होते ये हुआ, मगर क्या हुकूमत ने सर उसके ऊपर एक्शन लिया है? जी सर आप गए, आपने सर प्रॉब्ली उनके चर्चेज और के लिए आपने उनको पैसे दे दिए होंगे, मगर क्या ये सलूशन है सर? क्या ये एक लॉन्ग टर्म सलूशन है? कितने सर और मंदिर चलेंगे पाकिस्तान में? कितने सर और ईसाइयों चर्च को आपसे जलाएंगे तो हुकूमत कोई एक्चुअल सलूशन की तरफ आएगी?